Hi people, this is Wulopin back again with an updated version of my PvP build, which I call WuloPain this time. So I'm gonna go straight down to business and keep it as short as possible. Let's start with my equipment, which you find here. I went for the great sword and the longbow again. On both weapons I use the force and battle sigils. It's 5% damage increase and 2 stacks of might whenever I swap between them in combat. So my aim with this build, as well as my last build, is to do a sustainable amount of DPS. I mean that I can keep it up at the same DPS for a longer period of time and not make spike builds, because of that simple reason that if you make a spike build and you try it out on a dummy, you will think, oh my god, this is such high amount of spike damage, of course I'm gonna kill players. And then you find out that players aren't as stupid as dummies. They react. They can do all sorts of stuff, like cleanse themselves of all the conditions and stability, for example. Makes them immune to disables. A few disables. There are some exceptions. So instead I focused on sustainable damage, which I think is better in my limited experience of PvP. And of course the overall aim with my builds not to die, because it takes away a lot of pleasure with the game. That being said, let's get back to the equipment. I use the soldier amulet because it gives me a lot of power, as well as toughness and vitality. I went with the Melandru rune because it decreases condition, especially since the last update. Conditions have been buffed. You see a lot of more condition builds now, at least in my experience. So this one helps me get rid of them. That's it for the equipment, so let's get down to the utility skills. I went with the healing spring, which is a trap now, so you can arm it and move out of it, and when you or a friend of yours steps into it, it will trigger. The signet of renewal cures a condition every 10 seconds. Signet of stone, toughness, and when you activate it, it takes no damage from attacks. You will notice there is they give me might as well, but I will be coming to that later. The signet of the wild, it's awesome. I really like that one. And of course rampages one. Sorry, strength of the pack. They renamed it. So the signets, I like them because they are simple to use. They always benefit you, and when you activate them, they give you some special stuff. So I like that. That being said, it's not much else about the utility skills. Of course, you pop them whenever you want to, or feel like. When you have, I pop the signet of renewal whenever I have like 3 different conditions on me, because it cleanses of all of them. Signet of stone when I am about to, or I am under heavy attack, heavy damage. I like to pop that one. It doesn't have a cast time, so you just pop it, and of course they can still apply conditions to you, so these two work great in combination. Signet of the Wild, I use that one to gain stability and to increase my damage. So I use Signet of the Wild in combination with Strength of the Pack. Gives me a little bit oomph power whenever I think I need it. The specializations, traits like they were used to be called. The first one I went with is Wilderness Survival. Natural Vigor, you get that one for free. Oakheart Salve, you gain regen whenever you suffer from bleeding and so on. But more importantly, while you have regen, you take reduced damage. So whenever I suffer from bleeding, poison or burning, I take reduced damage, and damage is reduced by 5%, so I like that one. Companion's Defense, this is pretty good one. You gain protection every time I dodge roll, so make sure you do that in combat as much as possible. Shared Anguish, I transfer disables to my pet. It has a pretty long cooldown, but it's a good one, I think. It's better than these two because I'm not using Torture Dagger, and I'm not using poison that much. Barkskin, this used to be a great one. It used to be Grandmaster, now it's just a freebie. I think it's pretty okay. You take less damage while your health is above the threshold. So when I am above 90%, I take 33% less damage. So it makes you want to stay healed up as much as possible. This is a great one. Empathic Bond. Pets periodically take conditions from you. So my pet takes 3 conditions every 10 seconds, and if you combine that with Signet of Renewal, it cures a condition every 10 seconds, so that is 4 conditions every 10 seconds. That would be like 1 condition every 2.25 seconds, I guess. So in average, I mean. So that's it for that one, Wilderness Survival. The next one is Nature Magic. Rejuvenation. While your health is below the threshold, you gain regen. This is a great one. Allies Aid. You will see later in my PvP match, hopefully, when I will be reviving an ally in a match. It goes so fast, it's awesome. You can get your friends back on their feet within like 3 or 4 seconds. It's super fast. Fortifying Bond, any boon gets shared with your pet. It's a freebie. Evasive Purity, dodging. So this one combined with this one, so means that every time I dodge roll, I gain protection and I remove blindness, crippling and poison. Lingering Magic, Protective Ward. When you receive damage, nearby foes are weakened and you gain protection. So it means like when I'm taking damage, I gain protection, and when I dodge roll, I gain protection. It's a bit on the defensive side, but it's the whole purpose of this build. Now for the marksmanship Straight line or specialization. Opening strike, you get that one for free. Call of the Wild when I swap pets, and you give fury, might and swiftness to my allies as well. So if you're in the middle of a fight and you have some friends around you, switching pets will give them fury, might and swiftness. So that is really awesome, and I will show you a little trick that I found out later. I won't be talking during the match, so I can tell it to you now. If you die and your pet is suffering from a condition, immediately when you respawn, your pet will still suffer from that condition and be in combat. So if you swap pets immediately after resurrecting back in your home base, you will give yourself fury, might and swiftness for 18 seconds, which will be quite handy when you are running back into combat. So that is like a trick that I tried to do. Brutish Seals. Activating a signet grants might to you and your pet, and they recharge faster. This is an obvious one to take since I have 3 signets, and that is why all my signets down here give me might. So of course I'm taking that one. Precise Strike and Lead the Wind. This is purely for my longbow, but it pierces and attack speed increase. So yeah, when my opponents are running away from me, I switch to my longbow and I go pew pew, and hopefully they go down. That's it for the specializations. Yeah, you know what I mean. Only one thing left, and that is not the unimportant thing. It's the pets. So you see, I still keep Batman with me. Batman gives the F2 Icy Pounce ability, which chills my opponents. Cats also have high precision. You can see 2k precision. So it's a DPS pet. So I want my pets to hand out the most damage as possible, because they're going down anyway. So while they're active, I want them to do DPS. And of course I switch them as much as possible to trigger the Call of the Wild. But then I changed pet, so here you have Poison Ivy. I have no idea why I go with the Batman theme on my pet names, but this one gives the F2 skill of Paralyzing Venom, which immobilizes my foe for 3 seconds, as well as a Spit, which is like pure damage, and another immobilize attack. Immobilization is not a condition that is prevented by stabilize. You see down here it says cannot be knocked down, pushed back, pulled, launched, stunned, dazed, floated, sunk, feared or taunted, but they can be immobilized. So that one is pretty good to have to keep my enemies close if I want to use my greatsword, or if I want to keep them away from me and use my longbow. I've been doing a lot of talking. That's it for the build. give it a try and tell me what you think. As always, I appreciate all comments and suggestions, and thanks for watching. Keep cool.
The match starts soon.
I chose you.
Hold on to your points. Seize theirs. You've captured the quarry. You lost the waterfall.
I'm bleeding. I don't have enough energy. Refreshing. Come here.
You've taken the graveyard.
Search and rescue.
You lost the graveyard. The waterfall is yours.
Refreshing. Eat my dust. Death stops.
You lost the waterfall.
I chose you. Now that's a comment.
You've captured the quarry. Target identified.
It's getting serious.
You've lost the quarry. You've taken the graveyard. You've captured the quarry. Attack my target. Come here! The waterfall is yours! Strength of the pack! You've captured the quarry! Attack my target!
Target identified.
You lost the waterfall!
That'll silence you.
Your team is victorious!